Welcome to 52 Weeks of Prospecting Success. Today we're going to talk about metrics and measurement of our SDR teams. What should we be looking for to define their success? Well, the first thing that I like to focus on with any of our clients is activity versus outcomes. It seems like a lot of internal teams get really hung up on we have to hit this many calls per day. And while that is important and it is an important driver of outcomes, outcomes should be the number one focus. I recommend a bottom-up strategy instead of a top-down strategy by focusing on what the ideal outcome is for the team, whether it's revenue-based, whether it's based on the number of qualified leads or the most qualified outcomes or the volume of leads versus looking at this is how many calls we need to make. For me, even if I have someone that's about 5 calls under their number, but they're blowing past the outcome number, that's the ideal scenario. So I want to start by focusing on the outcome number. If my team's not hitting that, then I'm going to continue to move up that funnel and continue to help them understand how the activity drives those outcomes and focus on some of those more tactical elements if they're not achieving the ideal outcomes. Another important metric that's so critical to measure and is one of my favorites is conversation outcomes. Can you measure conversation outcomes of your team? Not in anecdotal feedback, but in actual measurable results. That's where I find the heart of the information about how I can coach and train my team is how they're handling the qualitative impact of their conversation. What percentage of the time are they getting a no versus a yes? And if I can break that down, I can typically understand what types of no's they're facing on a consistent basis versus listening to one call recording and allowing that to define my training with them. That one call recording just might be a false positive. So I need to look at the metrics backing my conversations, not just an individual scenario. Thank you for joining me this week on 52 Weeks of Prospecting Success. Make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel under Lead Gen, and make sure to post your questions via Twitter at 52weekSDR. We'll see you next week.